WRPB. You know, it's all about making sure we have the right people for the job. With me today is Jeremy from Reliance Plumbing Solutions. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Jeremy, tell me what Reliance Plumbing Solutions is.
Well, it's a plumbing company. We are full on service company when it comes to residential homes, small businesses. So we also incorporate commercial service. Um, yeah, anything anything plumbing wise, small remodels, we handle it. We take care of it. So
So, are you doing construction plumbing, or is it once my house is built, I
yeah,
can look
so
for you?
we could build houses, but we're trying to keep it more towards like the service industry
Hmm.
part of it. Even on the commercial side, we're not builders per se, right? But we'll service it after it's built.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Um,
you can handle residential and commercial.
correct. Correct.
So, how far into, I don't know how to word this exactly, how far into a drain can I go where I can utilize you as opposed to who would be the next person that I would call for a situation
Okay.
with plumbing?
Like let's, for instance, in your home, right? Like it depends where your city hookup is,
Hmm.
right? Where the your clean out is, right? You can camera that if you go into the city connection, or if you're on a lift station though, or
Hmm.
if you're on a pump, which a lot of homes in Port St. Lucie, Treasure Coast, they're on a pump system.
Hmm.
The pump system, if the alarm's going off or something like that, you would call the city. City would come out and deal with that. So if you
Okay.
do have a station, then it would be up to that station.
Right.
Okay, if you don't have a station, you have a septic, then it would be up to the septic, right? If there's an issue with the septic, that would be a septic company, different license. But yeah, if you're gravity fed all the way to the city,
Hmm.
sometimes it's up to the sidewalk. It's just depending on your situation. If you're on, a pump station, if you're on a septic, or if you go gravity fed straight to the city. Yeah.
So, basically, once we get to a box, you're done.
Yeah. Right.
You think outside the box.
I think outside the box. There you go. There you go. That's one way to put it.
So, let's start with what got you into plumbing.
What got me into plumbing? Well, it was the first thing I ever done. So, right after I graduated, I went straight to construction plumbing,
Hmm.
building Costco's and Publix for a company here in South Florida. And, after, I tell you, after the second year, I was like, I'm done with this. I got to do something else. But I stuck with it. I did stick with
Right.
it, and it paid off. And I'm here now, small business owner and pushing forward. But yeah, yeah. So right out of high school, it was just something I did. A friend of my father's was like, "Hey man, you're 18, you graduated. Why don't you work with me? You know, I know a company that the company I'm working for is hiring. I'll pick you up and drop you off." I didn't have a car at the time,
Nice.
so I did that, and then the rest is history. You know, Stuck with it ever since.
Is plumbing something that you have to get some kind of a degree for, or what kind of training goes into
Right.
being in this type of business?
Got you. A lot of so the trade's thin right now, right? We need more and more people, because there's more people retiring than there is learning the trade,
Hmm.
So, but you got to get started somewhere if it's what you want to do, right? Or if you see, on the horizon, like, hey, the trades are where it's at, get involved now versus later. The reason why is because of, okay, you can do schooling, right?
Hmm.
Which is like 3 or 4 years. You could do schooling and then work for a licensed company as well and get a couple years on the trade as well. Once you like as an apprentice, once you have like 7 years full on W-2,
Hmm.
then you can take like the master test
Okay.
for plumbing, which is like a state test. So you need 7 years really, to prove the state, hey, I have the experience, I have the hours, I have the knowledge, you know, let me take the test. Then you would
Hmm.
apply, right? Once you have the W-2 experience, you would apply with the state, get approved, take the test, and do, then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So as long, yeah, it's quite a. So that's why I recommend, if it's something you want to do, kind of get in it
Sure.
right away. Yeah.
Sure. So we all deal with the clogged sink, the clogged
Yeah.
toilet, yada yada. Run and grab the plunger,
Right.
and it doesn't do anything to help. Where do we go from there? I mean, are there steps that we should be looking at before we call for you to come?
Good question. Yeah. Yeah. Technically, so you want to say, is this an isolated clog? Number one,
Mm-hmm.
right? How do I tell the difference if it's my entire house that's backing up, or is it this single toilet, or this single lavatory sink?
Mm-hmm.
So first you wanna find out if it's just that fixture, or is it your whole house. One of the ways you can, a lot of these houses here in the Treasure Coast have cleanouts. So there's a cap in the front. You can take that cap off, see if there's sewage to the
Mm-hmm.
top. If there is, most likely it's your whole house,
Okay.
right? Or there's an issue with your pump, your station, or your septic. But you treat it as a clog first. That's what I always tell. Let's do the least invasive way.
Sure.
Try to snake it before you get it pumped or something, right? So if your cleanout's full, it's the whole house. If it's empty, you're like, okay, maybe it's not the whole house. Flush other toilets in the house. If other toilets in your house are flushing, 2 out of the 3, let's say, you could say, okay, it's just isolated to this toilet.
Mm-hmm.
If a plunger's not working, they sell what's called like an auger, or a hand snake.
Okay.
You can try to send that through. I think you get up to like 6 feet. There's a 3-footer, and then there's an extension that will go 6 feet past that trap of the toilet.
Okay.
And if it's still a little further, then you got to call a plumber, unless you know how to lift the toilet and then snake it from there,
Sure.
or go through a vent stack to clear it. But another way to itemize it, let's say it's in the main line and it's past the toilet. Sometimes if you open the faucet in that same bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that toilet bubbling, bloop, bloop, bloop,
Gotcha.
then you know, okay, my other bathrooms aren't affected, but the center bathroom is. It's probably going to be a little too far for me to clear it myself with a plunger.
Got it.
Call a professional. But always try the plunger. You never know.
So, I panic to think that, oh no, I'm going to have to call the plumber. This is going to be $1 million expense. They're going to
Yeah.
have to chisel out my floors and get to the drains.
Right.
That's not always the case, is it?
Not always the case. A matter of fact, I mean, I wouldn't say it's rare, because it does happen, but call the professionals. They have the equipment. We have the sewer snakes. We have the sewer camera. We even record it and give you a copy of the video or email it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can even watch it with us.
Sure.
On the actual camera. That way, hey, if there's an issue with the line, if your line's broken under the house or
Mhm.
something, and it's why your bathroom keeps backing up, we have the equipment to do the investigation, to properly inform you. That way you know the next steps.
Okay.
And sometimes you don't have to open the floor and ruin tile and stuff. If it's on an exterior, sometimes you can go under the house. You could do the repair. Just depends on the situation. But definitely, you know, there are some people that will always go to worst case scenario. Oh, you got to open the floor. You got to do
Right.
this. But I always try to do the least invasive repair possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And but it starts with the investigation work. If you're backing up, if your house backs up 2-3 times a year, and it's a history,
Mm-hmm.
run the camera, get a visual inspection on it. And that will tell you the story for your next steps.
What are some of the things that people can do as a regular maintenance program to keep their drains clear, and how often should it happen?
Yeah, so you can go on a regular routine snake out. If you're on a septic, make sure you take care of your septic tank. get it pumped on a regular. Some people don't pump their tank at all unless they have issues.
Mhm.
But don't go 10, 15 years without pumping your tanks.
Right.
There's a couple people I know like, I never have an issue with it. Don't worry about it. But it could cause issues. So you always want to make sure you service your tanks. You can go on a routine snake out. You know, um, clear your traps, stuff like that. Just to kind of prevent buildup from happening. Descale the lines, jet the lines, stuff like that. But you also have to be careful with the age of the line.
Mhm.
If you have cast iron, if you have PVC, if you have 50-year cast iron, maybe jetting it or descaling it, there's a fine line, right? Because the cast iron over the years starts to thin out,
Sure.
so technically if it's really old and there's issues, you don't really want to mess with it too much unless you have an issue or a
Mhm.
problem. But you can line the pipes itself now. There's technology's gone crazy, right? So there's nothing that we can't do, nowadays.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, you see the advertisements on television for come and buy this chemical and pour it down your drain and dump this in your toilet and
Yeah,
do this and that. Recommend it or not?
I don't recommend chemicals. Expect like cast iron, copper, they eat things up, right?
Hmm.
And the longer those chemicals, like people say, I cleared the stoppage with acid. I feel bad for those pipes. You
Right.
gotta be careful, because it eats things up. That's the nature of the chemical.
Right.
You wash your hands with chemicals. You know what I'm saying? It's to
You're
stay
right.
clean. So if if you got a clog, stay away from the chemicals. A lot of plumbers will charge you extra if they find out you you dump chemicals.
Wow.
They hit the water. If it's not up against the clog, they hit the water. It starts to calcify, and it makes the stoppage worse a little bit. It congeals and you know makes it worse.
So these drain cleaners and these dump this down your toilet and it'll eat the sewage away and it'll keep your sewer clear, you
Right.
know, do it once a month.
Yeah, I don't.
Not a good plan
There might be some
necessarily.
some organic things on the market, that you can look at that might be safe. But yeah, for the most part, anything that's chemical wise, definitely like acid, stuff like that,
Sure.
bleach, stay away from.
Because these things are not just, I'm not dumping this in to clean my sewer. It's going after everything between the dump point and getting to the sewer as well.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
I would imagine that, your drain pipes, maybe in the beginning, they have a nice clear flow, but as you use them through the years, it builds up just like anything,
Right. Right.
you know.
So if
So,
if you want to maintenance your lines instead of pouring chemicals down there,
mhm,
to take care of the grease and the sludge,
right,
get on a once a year jetting program or something like that. We can flush your sewer lines out. We can camera it, make sure that they're nice and clean, and go from there.
nice.
And every maintenance program's different, right?
Mhm,
So if you got a brand new house with PVC, that's going to be different than the home that has 40-year-old cast iron,
right.
right? So you just gotta get with the professionals. That way you know what to do and what not to do.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
that's something that we say all the time: is get the profession, let people take care of it for you.
Get them involved. You got it.
Jeremy, we're coming to the end of our time. What is the way that people reach you?
Well, you can reach me, website relianceplumbing.pro, relianceplumbing.solutions.pro, or the phone number. You goes directly to me. I can answer any questions that the customers might have at 772-773-2091.
All right,
Yeah, yeah, very personable, and customer service is where it's at. So if you call me, you get top-notch customer service.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Folks, that information is on screen for you. Like I said, we say it all the time. When you have these issues, make sure that you're reaching out to the people that know what they're doing. It's great to try these self improvement jump on the internet, find out what everybody thinks you need to do to fix something. But if you're not doing it in the proper way, you could be doing more damage than you are good. So make sure that you reach out to people like Jeremy at Reliance Plumbing Solutions. Let them come out, give you the proper care and the proper maintenance to keep your home safe and sound. Thanks for coming in, Jeremy.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Great to have you.
All right.
Folks, we'll be back.